Hey everybody, thanks for coming back. This is Mr. Nunes again. Today we are going to be working on subtracting mixed numbers, but the problem with our problems today is the second fraction is going to be larger than the first one, so we are going to have to regroup from the first number. So let's go ahead and let's try our first one so we can see exactly what I am talking about. Our first question today is 5 and 1/2 minus 3 and 2/3. So still starts out the same way. Still got that same issue that we've been having with those denominators are not the same. In order to make them the same, we are going to skip count, which means we're looking for the LCM. So I got 2 on the top because it was first, and I got 3 on the bottom because it was second. When I do this, I like to go to times 5, and I start with the small number first. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 5 is 10. Or you just skip counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, I got the times 5. I check my 3s. I do my first 3. 3 times 1 is 3. That doesn't have a match. So I do my next 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And now I can see that I actually do have a match. They both have 6s. So that is going to be my LCM is 6. And why do we need that? What are we going to do with it? That becomes our new denominator. So I come back to my original fractions. And it was half. Now it has to be something sixths minus something sixths is going to equal something sixths. Don't forget to keep those whole numbers. It's still 5 wholes. It's still 3 wholes. And let's make that subtraction sign just a little bigger and darker. Now we have to figure out how did it change? Because it was halves, now it's sixths. How did halves get to sixths? It was not times 1. It was not times 2. It was actually by multiplying by 3. So if I multiply the bottom number by 3, I get 6. So multiply the top number by 3, and that gives me 3. Notice it's still half. 1 is half of 2. 3 is half of 6. So let's do the same thing on our second fraction. It was a 3 on the bottom. Now it's a 6 on the bottom. How did that happen? The 3, it wasn't times 1. It was over here. It was times 2. So if we multiply the bottom by 2, 3 times 2 does give me my 6. So we've got to do the same thing to the top. Multiply it by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And now we can subtract, except we're going to have a problem here. 3 minus 4, the numerators. I can't subtract those right now. So I got 3 pieces here, and I got 4 pieces here. I can't take 4 pieces away if there's only 3. What are we going to have to do? We're going to have to actually borrow from our whole number. The whole number has 6 parts. Why does this whole number have 6 parts? Because our denominator is 6 parts. So I'm going to have an extra 6 pieces, and I got to add it to my original 3 pieces, which gives me 9. So now I have 9 pieces, but I took 1 away from my whole number. So I don't have 5 wholes anymore. I have 4 wholes. I took 1 of those away and added those 6 pieces I took out to my numerator, which now gives me my improper fraction of 4 and 9/6. So we can see I took 1 away from my whole number, became 4. When I took that 1 away, it actually gave me 6 extra little pieces. So those 6 plus my 3 gives me 9 on top, and my denominator stays the same. My second fraction and whole number is just fine. I can keep that exactly the way it is. And now we can actually do our subtraction. Start with the fraction. 9 minus 4. 9 take away 4 is 5. The denominator stays the same. And then 4 minus 3 is 2. Sorry, 4 minus 3 is 1. That is a good answer. What we need to try to do is try to simplify that answer. And I got a little trick after when we're done. 5 is 1 times 5. 2's 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2, so we know right here 2's don't make a 5. So now we try our 3's. 3 times nothing. 3 doesn't make a 5. Then we try 4's. 4's don't make a 5. Then we get to 5. We already have a 5, so we're done. Now we can try our 6's. 1 times 6. 2 times 3. 3 you already have on your list, so you're done. Now we got to find our match, because those were the factors. We did the F part, the factors. Now let's find what they have in common. They always have a 1. 5 has a 5, 6 does not. 6 has a 2, 5 does not. 6 has a 6, 5 does not. 6 has a 3, 5 does not. So out of all the factors they have, the GCF is only 1. And we know if the GCF is 1, then you're done. And we can see that right there in there. So this is our best answer because it cannot be simplified. Now here's a trick. See how the 5 and the 6 are 1 digit apart? If they're 1 digit apart, it can't be simplified. They're 1 digit apart, 5, 6, 1 digit apart. They cannot be simplified. Let's try one more of these questions. Still working on the same skill. We're going to be looking at mixed numbers and having to regroup. So let's get our problem. Problem is going to be 7 and 2, 6 minus 1 and 8 twelfths. Okay, same problem again. Denominators are not the same. We need to find the LCM to fix that. 6 is first, so I put it on top. 6 and then 12. So I got to skip count by my 6's. I like to go to times 5. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. And some of you might be saying, well, there's already a match. Yeah, so you could kind of stop, but I like to just go to times 5 just in case. So as we get our first 12, we can already see we have our LCM on the very first try of our second number. Our LCM is 12, and we know that the LCM becomes our new denominator. So we know now that we're going to have something twelfths minus something twelfths, and it's going to equal something twelfths. So let's see how that happened. We got to figure out, how did our fractions change? It was a 6. Now it's a 12. Oh, don't forget your whole numbers either, guys. Don't forget to bring those whole numbers down. And now we can work on the tops. How did that 6 get to 12? Well, it's right here in your chart. How did 6 get to 12? Not times 1, but times 2. So multiply the bottom by 2, and it gives you 12. So now we're going to multiply the top by 2, and we get 4. Now do the same thing for our second fraction. How did 12 get to 12? Well, it didn't do anything. That means we just multiplied by 1. Because you multiply by 1, it doesn't change. So now we can subtract, except if we try to subtract our fractions, 4 minus 8. If you have 4, I can't take 8. That's not going to work. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to regroup. We're going to have to regroup or borrow from our whole number. In this case, we're going to take 1 from our whole number. That makes our whole number become a 6. What we took 1 away from it, in this question, that's going to be 12 pieces. If we take 1 away, that actually gives us 12 of those little pieces. We broke that 1 whole apart, which gives us 12 pieces. We're going to add that to our numerator up top, which gives us 16. So now, again, we took 1 away from our whole number, becoming 6. Where did that 1 whole go? It went into our numerator. Our 1 whole is 12 pieces. We added it to our 4, and we get 16 twelfths. Now we can bring down our second fraction. And now we can subtract. Start with the fraction. 16 minus 8. 16 minus 8 is 8. The denominator stays the same. 6 minus 1, the whole numbers, is 5. And again, we do have a correct answer here, but we have to try to simplify that fraction. We got to do our t-chart and try to simplify that fraction. 8 and 12. 8 is 1 times 8. Now try 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2's work. 2 times 4 is 8. Now try your 3's. 3, 6, 9, 12. No, 3's don't work. What comes after 3's? 4. But you already have a 4 right there, so you are done. Now let's try our 12's. 1 times 12. Try 2's. 12 is even, so 2 has to work. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It does work. 2 times 6. Now try 3's. 3, 6, 9, 12. Ooh, 3's do work. 3 times 4. After 3, you would try 4. But as you see, we already have a 4 on our list, so you are done. Now we need to find our matches. So we did the factors. We did that. Now we got to find what's in common. These are all the factors. Find the common ones. They both have 1. They're both going to have 2 because 8 is even and 12 is even. 8 has a 4. 12 has a 4. 8 has an 8. 12 does not. 8 has a 3. 12 has a 3. 8 does not. 12 has a 6. 8 does not. 12 has a 12. 8 does not. So the only ones that they had are 1, 2, and 4. Those are the common ones. The greatest one that they have, not 8. They didn't actually have 8. They didn't have a 12. Didn't have a 6. The greatest one they had was 4. What are we going to do with our GCF? We're going to simplify our fraction. We know we're going to keep the same whole number. We know we still got 5. To simplify our fraction, we find the GCF, and then we divide the top and the bottom by the GCF. The answer for your division is back here in your t-chart. 8 divided by 4. 8 right here in our chart. 4 right here in our chart. What's next to the 4? A 2. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4. Find the 12. Find your 4. What's next to the 4? 3. So 12 divided by 4 equals 3. And there we go. We have our best simplified answer. And as you can see, like we did on that last question, our numerator and denominator are 1 digit apart. That's telling us they are already simplified. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming back. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again another day. Bye.